Hello everybody, it is I, the Beast. Welcome to Storytime with the Beast. My special guest today is Frosty the Snowman. Hi everybody, pleasure to meet you. So what story are we going to be reading today, Mr. Beast? Well, tonight we're going to read the all-time classic Frosty the Snowman book. Oh sweet, one of my favorite stories based off me. I like your rose, by the way. It's decorated beautifully in time for the holidays. Why, thank you. I always seem to have it very nice and pretty for Christmas. Along with a few other decorations down there and the Christmas tree. Wow, what a beauty. Alrighty, so here we are. Frosty the Snowman. This is based off, a little bit off the Rankin Bass film, Frosty the Snowman. This book was released in 2021. So here we go. It all started with the first snow. It all started with the snow. The first snow of the season. As every child knows, there is a certain magic to the very snow. And when it falls on the day before Christmas, something wonderful is bound to happen. Children, back to your seats, called the teacher. The snow can wait. I've hired Professor Hinkle, the magician, to entertain us for our Christmas party. Unfortunately, Professor Hinkle was about the worst magician in the world. And so I put the eggs into my magic hat, said Professor Hinkle. Abracadabra, and voila, the eggs had turned into a mess. Where is my rabbit? Hocus Pocus, where are you? He didn't know that rabbit, Hocus Pocus, was hiding in the hat. The only thing this hat is good for is the trash can, said Professor Hinkle. But the hat didn't stay in the trash for that long. The hat with Hocus Pocus ran underneath, hopped out the door. That was when the bell rang. The children were free for the whole Christmas holiday. Hey, look at the snow, cried the children as they ran outside. They worked together to build a snowman of the season. Once the children had given him eyes, a nose, and a mouth, it was time to name him. How about Frosty, said Karen. Frosty the Snowman. The children danced around Frosty as they sang about his button nose and his eyes made of coal. Come back here, you, cried Professor Hinkle, chasing Hocus Pocus. Hocus Pocus. Suddenly, a gust of wind blew the hat off onto Frosty's head. Happy birthday, said the snowman. Karen gasped and said, that hat brought Frosty to life. It must be magic. When Professor heard that, he wanted it back. But it's not yours anymore, protested Karen. This hat will make me a millionaire, said the greedy magician. Taking back the hat, Hocus Pocus felt that the hat really did belong to Frosty. So he hopped back to Frosty and the children as fast as he could to return the magic hat. Happy birthday, said Frosty as soon as the hat was placed on his head. Hey, I just said my first words. I'm alive. What a neat thing to have to a nice guy like me. The magic hat made Frosty dance around. The children cheered as Frosty began to laugh and play with them. They had never been such a wonderful winter day. When the sun peeked from behind the clouds, Frosty exclaimed, Oh, I'm all wishy-washy. I'm starting to melt. The children knew they needed to take Frosty someplace where he would never melt, like the chilly North Pole. They decided to get on the railroad station and find a train for Frosty. Let's make a parade through town, shouted Frosty. Come on, kids, follow the leader. All too soon, it was time for the train and Frosty to leave. I'll go with you, Frosty, said Karen. I'm sure I'll be back in time for supper. Karen, Frosty, and Hocus jumped in the refrigerated boxcar. A freight train headed north. No one saw Professor Hinkle sneak under the train and the train car. Hold on. A refrigerated boxcar is a splendid way to travel. Splendid, that is, if one is a snowman or a furry-coated rabbit. But for a little girl like Karen, it was just too cold. So when the freight train made a stop, Frosty got 'em all out. No one saw Professor Hinkle jump off too. Frosty took Karen and Hocus to a wooden glen where they found animals decorating the trees for their big celebration. They knew Santa Claus was coming that night. After Hocus spoke to the animals, they agreed to help build a campfire to keep Karen warm. But it didn't take long for Professor Hinkle to catch up with the friends. "Get on my shoulders, Karen," cried Frosty. Frosty, since he was new as man of the snow, was the fastest belly whopper in the world. Soon, he and Karen were sliding down a hill, leaving the greedy Professor Hinkle behind. At the bottom of the hill was a tiny greenhouse for growing tropical poinsettias for Christmas. It was the perfect place for Karen to stay warm. "Frosty, you'll melt in here," warned Karen. "I'll only stay in for a minute," Frosty assured her. But the nasty Professor Hinkle caught up with them once again, trapped the friends inside. That night, Hocus Pocus led Santa Claus into the greenhouse to save Frosty. But by then, poor Frosty had melted completely. "Don't cry, Karen," said Santa kindly. "Frosty's not gone for good. You see, he was made out of Christmas snow. You can bet your boots that when a good jolly December wind kisses it, it will turn into Christmas snow all over again. Just watch." Santa opened the door, and when the wind whirled in and out, Frosty was back. Santa was about to place the magic on Frosty's head when Professor Hinkle shouted, "I want that hat, and I want it now." Santa replied, "If you touch this hat, I will never bring you another Christmas present. Go home and write, 'I am very sorry for what I did to Frosty,' 100 zillion times. Then maybe, just maybe, you'll find something in your stocking tomorrow morning." Professor Hinkle was very sorry indeed. He ran straight home to start writing. "Happy birthday," said Frosty once more. Karen was happy to see her friend, but now it was time to go home. Santa put Karen onto the sleigh and promised her that he would take Frosty back to the North Pole with him. Karen hated to say goodbye to Frosty, but Santa said that Frosty could return every year with the magical Christmas snow. Frosty waved goodbye as he hurried on his way. He shouted a promise to return the following Christmas, and every year he just did. Merry Christmas. Wow, that was a really great book. Yeah, so you all have any more information about this book, just leave us a comment on the video and respond to all your comments as soon as possible. Well, why don't we end this video with one of your all-time favorite songs, Frosty the Snowman. Okay. Frosty the Snowman, what a jolly happy soul, with a corncob pipe and a button nose and 2 eyes made out of coal. Frosty the Snowman is a fairy tale, they say. He was made of snow, but the children know how he came to life one day. There must have been some magic in the old silk hat they found. Oh, when they placed it on his head, he began to dance around. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Frosty the Snowman was alive as he could be, and the children say he could laugh and play just the same as you and me. Frosty the Snowman knew the sun was hot that day, so he said, "Let's run and we'll have some fun before I melt away." Down to the village with a broomstick in his hand, running here and there all around the square, saying, "Catch me if you can." He led them down the streets of town right to a traffic cop, and he only paused a moment when he heard him holler, "Stop!" Oh, Frosty the Snowman had to hurry on his way, but he waved goodbye, saying, "Don't you cry, I'll be back again someday." Thumpity thump thump thumpity thump thump, look at Frosty go. Thumpity thump thump thumpity thump thump over the hills of snow. Well, remember to keep subscribing us for more videos, and we will see you on the next video. Have a good night. Good night. See you later. Have a good night, everyone. See you on our next video. Keep subscribing for more videos. Remember, we love you all. Good night.